At a family gathering, my father declared he'd rather choke on garbage than talk to me again. My sister smirked, barely hiding her amusement. My mother tried to smooth things over, but I'd had enough. I left without a word. The twist. A month later, he was the one reaching out. It started with a text from my mother, one I stared at for ages, debating whether to reply. A single sentence, "Come to dinner. It's urgent." I ignored it. Then came her call. The first went to voicemail. The second I picked up. Her voice carried that quiet insistence she used when she knew I'd resist. She said everyone would be there, that we needed to talk, that it was time to mend things. I snapped, "So I'm supposed to apologize again for something I didn't do?" She paused, then said softly, "Do it for me, not them." Maybe that's why I gave in. I reserved a private dining room, 10 seats, warm candlelight, a riverside view, and a menu so elegant it'd make a fast food fan wince. I wanted it flawless. Not for them, but because if I had to endure this charade, I'd call the shots. I knew they'd be caught off guard. They'd expect some bland diner off the interstate. They'd hate that I'd chosen a place far grander than anything they'd ever pulled off. They showed up 20 minutes late. My sister, Lauren, strutted in, coat slung over her shoulders like she was walking a runway, sunglasses perched indoors. My father wore a suit jacket, acting like he owned the place. My mother followed, her smile too forced, eyes scanning for trouble. I was already seated, nursing a glass of wine I barely tasted. They sat. I gave a stiff nod. My mother tried to ease the tension, gushing about the restaurant's charm. Lauren rolled her eyes. My father stayed silent at first, just staring. Then he chuckled. Before the waiter could even step away, Lauren leaned in, smirking at the server. "Can you believe him?" she said, gesturing to me. "He thinks this fancy dinner makes him somebody." My mother reached out to hush her, but Lauren pressed on. She called me a failure, said I was always groveling to keep the family intact, like some sad, clinging vine. She said I was pitiful, that I'd booked this place just to feel significant for once. Then she clapped, slow, mocking claps that echoed in the quiet room. That was my limit. I glanced at my mother, her eyes brimming with tears, and said one word, "No." I stood, left my coat draped on the chair, and walked out. I didn't look back. I thought that was the end. But a week later, odd emails started arriving. Not from my family, never from them, from a stranger. The first came on a Thursday night. Subject, "You need to see this." No message, just an attachment from an account with a jumble of numbers. I deleted it and went to sleep. 2 days later, another email. Same sender, 3 files attached. No explanation, just PDFs, spreadsheets, and a screenshot of a chat about refunds, and someone named Carl who needed to stay quiet. I didn't open them. Then a third email arrived, its subject line impossible to ignore. Lauren Co. internal file. Urgent, my sister's company. I clicked. No malware, no scams, just documents. Financial records, transfer logs, executive emails. Irregularities in payroll. Thousands funneled to unnamed accounts. One file stopped me cold, a scanned memo with Lauren's signature stating, "Process these before the quarter closes, skip legal." I kept digging. Another document showed an expense report with consulting fees paid in cash to a non-existent media firm. This wasn't a mix-up. It screamed fraud, possibly criminal, federal-level criminal. But why was this sent to me? Then came the final email with a message, "Your sister's going to need support soon. You should know before it all collapses." I didn't sleep that night. On Monday, I ignored 6 calls from my mother. I answered the 7th. She sounded panicked, saying Lauren was in the hospital, something about a collapse, heart trouble, stress. They were still testing. I asked if she was okay. "She's terrified, Daniel," my mother said. "She's asking for you." That caught me off guard. I nearly asked for the hospital's name, but something held me back. 2 hours later, a text from my father, "We need to talk. Critical, can we come by?" I didn't respond. 30 minutes later, they were at my door. It was the first time my father had ever set foot in my apartment. He looked hollow, like he'd aged a decade. My mother twisted her scarf nervously. I didn't let them in, just stood in the doorway. My father handed me a crumpled folder and said Lauren was in deep trouble. Words like investigation and charges spilled out. Her accounts were locked, her work computer confiscated. Then he asked if I could loan them $75,000. I laughed, a sharp, bitter sound. He recoiled. I told him they'd chosen the wrong fool this time, the one who always made peace, who always set the table. The one they couldn't even respect for a single evening. My mother tried to speak, saying they were scared, that Lauren didn't know what she'd stumbled into. I looked at them, trembling with guilt and desperation. For a moment, I almost said yes. Then I remembered Lauren's mocking claps. "No," I said, then I added, "I already know everything." My father blinked. My mother's face tightened. I stepped back and closed the door. They didn't knock again or call for 3 days. I assumed they were too embarrassed or too busy scrambling to fix Lauren's mess. I didn't care. For the first time in years, I did nothing, no texts, no outreach. I sat in a park sipping coffee, just existing. No chaos, no drama. It felt like freedom. Until Thursday morning when I turned on the news. A breaking report, allegations against Lauren co-CEO Lauren Hart. A grainy clip showed Lauren entering a courthouse, flanked by 2 suited men, one likely a federal agent. The anchor mentioned fraud, embezzlement, whistleblowers. They flashed a document with her signature, already viral online. Then they said my name. Sources report a family member received anonymous company files and may have been approached for financial aid. This wasn't supposed to leak. I hadn't told a soul. My phone exploded, texts from friends, coworkers, even my neighbor, "You okay?" Saw the news, then a blocked number called. Against my instincts, I answered. A reporter, some business journalist, asking if I'd helped uncover the fraud. I hung up. An hour later, my doorbell rang. A voice said, "It's Sam. I sent the emails." I let him in against my better judgment. He was young, mid-20s, in a hoodie, looking drained but harmless. He sat on my couch, jittery, and explained he'd worked at Lauren Co., fired for asking too many questions. He had proof, drives, recordings, emails where Lauren ordered someone to bury it or we're done. Then he dropped a bombshell. "Your name came up. Lauren tried to pin it on you." I froze. "What?" He nodded. They'd found a draft email where she attempted to tie transfers to my name, like a fallback plan. So not only had they mocked me and begged for cash, but Lauren had been ready to frame me. I sent everything to Rachel, a friend from law school. She called back in 10 minutes. "Come to my office tomorrow." Her desk had a whiteboard with a rough timeline sketched out. She believed me. It was bad. Then she asked, "Do you want to protect yourself or take them down?" I paused. "I just want them gone from my life," she grinned. "We'll do both." Rachel sent a legal warning to Lauren's attorneys. If my name was dragged in, we'd sue for slander, obstruction, everything. They backpedaled, calling it a mix-up. But it wasn't over. Days later, Lauren texted, "Meet me just once. Let me explain. I almost considered it." Then Rachel called. Lauren's team was cutting a plea deal, naming names, including mine, not as a scapegoat, but as a supposed accomplice. Rachel filed a motion attaching all the evidence, demanding my name be cleared. They folded quickly. Sam sent one last file, a video of Lauren and my father in her office. She was sobbing. "If this lands on Daniel, it stops there." My father nodded. "He'll be fine, always is." That was when I let go completely. I called a press conference, handed everything to a reporter, the fraud, the cover-up, the betrayal. The story blew up. Lauren's lawyers begged me to vouch for her. I agreed, but only if they gave me full immunity and a public statement clearing my name. They did. Lauren was ousted from her company, the golden child now disgraced. My father vanished from my life. My mother texted, "Lauren's out, I'm sorry, please forgive us." I didn't respond. Some families aren't worth saving. Some fights aren't won in court. They're won by owning your truth. If you connected with this story and felt its weight, please give it a like, share it with others, and subscribe for more real-life tales and emotional journeys. Your support means everything and helps us share more stories like this. Thank you for reading, and I'll see you in the next one.